guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm doing a part two of the video that I did a while ago, which was weird things that I thought of as a kid. I'll have my first original video down below if you guys want to check that out first and then come back to this one, because let me just warn you that it gets even weirder. So I have some new things that I wanted to share with you of weird things that I thought of as a kid, so let's just go ahead and get started. First one, Michael Jackson. Okay, so I honestly don't remember how old I was. I didn't know who Michael Jackson was. Like, I didn't know he was like a singer, artist, whatever. I didn't know who he was. So when people were talking about him and like moonwalking and stuff, I thought he was an astronaut. I thought he was an astronaut because a lot of people were talking about him and moonwalking. So I just connected moonwalking to an astronaut. So I thought Michael Jackson was an astronaut. Next one, so kind of on the topic of space and moon, I thought the United States of America owned the moon. Like, I thought we were the only people who could see the moon. Like, I didn't think that, you know, there was a whole different world out there who could also see the moon. I thought we were the only people who could see the moon, and I thought we were the only people who owned the moon. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little serious here.
On my channel, I like to keep it clean. You know, because I know I have a lot of young viewers out there. So I just want to say I do not promote, I do not enforce using drugs at all. Like, no to drugs, no to drinking. Like, no, like, that is not what I'm about. That is not what this channel is about. I mean, if you do that, cool. Like, okay, good for you, whatever. But personally for me, no. And I would not recommend doing drugs. You do whatever you want to do, but I just personally am totally against drugs and using drugs and drinking and all that kind of stuff. And yeah. Just wanted to disclaim that first real quick.
So what I wanted to talk about, oh my god, I don't know, I feel kind of weird. Weed. Okay, so I was a very sheltered child when I was younger. So I don't even know how like weed like came up. I knew that weed was like bad. And I didn't think weed as like the actual plant weed. I just thought of like, oh, like weeds and grass and stuff like that. So I remember one day I picked up just like a little grass weed and I put it in my mouth like a farmer. Like, you know how farmers like, oh, I'm literally demonstrating for you. So I did it like that and I was like, oh my god, I just had weed right now. And inside the house, and I was like, Mom, I just had weed. And she's like, Ronnie, that is very serious. We do not joke about that. I was like, okay, next one. Okay, we're done with drugs. Softball and stealing bases. I did not get the concept of like how to steal a base or when to steal a base. If you play softball, then you kind of get like what I'm saying. If you're on first base and like the catcher, like the ball goes past the catcher, then you steal a base because like they're not gonna throw you out. I didn't know that, so I thought that the umpire would give signs to my first base coach to tell me when is a good time to go. Didn't know how the freeway worked. I thought that there was a start to the freeway, like a start in line, like the first, like, how do I explain this? Like, I thought there was a start to the freeway. So I thought like there was like a row of cars that were like front in line. So I thought that whenever there was traffic, that the front line cars were like eating cookies. Okay, so now this is gonna get really weird. So I was a little freak of the week. Like, I was obsessed with Animal Planet and like animals. Like, I was such a little geek, all about Animal Planet and Discovery Channel and all those sciencey, weird animal channels. Low-key, I still am though. There's this show that I used to watch, I think it was called like Extreme 10 or something, 10. And it was like a show basically about like top 10 like deadliest animals. Top 10 different categories of kind of like type of animals, type of bugs, whatever, and such like that. So this one that I watched in particular was about parasites. And I remember one of the parasites that they talked about was tapeworms. And I don't know why, but that one stuck with me. Talked about how like tapeworms can like live in your stomach and like live inside you. So ever since watching that, I thought every time I had a stomach ache or every time my stomach like growled or like something like that, I thought it was tapeworms in my stomach, and I was so afraid to go to the doctor because I thought they're gonna say like, oh my god, you have tapeworms, like we're gonna have surgery on you. Okay, cleaning commercial. So there's this one cleaning commercial. I don't know if you guys remember, but he passed away a while ago. He had like black hair, big black beard, and like he always like shouted in the cleaning commercials. It was one of those commercials where they're really enthusiastic and really loud. The commercial was about like a cleaning solution. So like it was like an outdoor cleaning solution. So I remember in the demonstration, they had a cup of the cleaning solution and like a dirty penny, and they dipped half of the penny in, and after half of the penny was clean, that was the side that was dipped in the solution, and then half of it was all gross and green and grimy. So I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So I thought I would try it out. So I just got a plain cup of water, like I don't even know, like I didn't even have the solution. Like I just got a plain cup of water, and then I got like a green scrunchie. It wasn't like gross, it wasn't dirty, it was like dyed green. Get me? So I dipped that green scrunchie in the water thinking that it would work, because honestly, like that commercial was like magic to me. Like I got like, this is literally magic. So I tried it with the green scrunchie and I was like, why isn't this working? I was so disappointed, like I was so sad. The morning I woke up and the scrunchie was still green. I was like, this is like fake, like they tried to trick me. I got you cleaning commercial, you ain't lying. Last one, this one is kind of sad. I shouldn't be leaving off with this one, but this one is kind of sad. So my grandma, she used to have like bird coops, and they're like little parakeet birds, and she kept them in their backyard. Loved to go back out there and catch the little eggs. They always had eggs, and they always landed at the bottom of the coop, like on the little wiring. And so I used to open it, pick them, and keep them. Hold them in my hand for the whole day, and at the end of the day, I'd crack them to see if the little baby bird was there. Like to see if there was a baby bird in the egg. And like, of course, like the baby bird isn't gonna be alive like in there. It's still gonna be like the yolk and stuff. Like I honestly don't know why my grandma or my parents stopped me from doing this. Like, first of all, like why would they let me take eggs? Like, that's so sad. Like I didn't, like the babies didn't even have a chance to survive or anything. Like I honestly like took the eggs and basically killed them. I basically killed like little baby bird eggs. Like that makes me so sad now just thinking about it. But when I was little, like I had like no idea. I was just like, it's an egg, and from an egg comes a bird. So I thought, like, I remember I would hold it like the whole day. Like I would play around in my front yard. I would do jumping jacks. Like I remember jumping rope with eggs in my hand, like, and then at the end of the day I would crack them. And I remember I used to keep them in boxes too. Like that's, okay, we're getting a little far. It's a little weird now, but I would honestly like keep them in boxes and save them. And of course they would die because it's not like living conditions for an egg. Like I don't even know, like it's so sad. Luckily I didn't do it that often, but I remember. And I was always disappointed after cracking it. I was just like, where's the bird? All right, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Just like last video, comment down below any weird things that you guys did as a kid. I love reading these comments. I find them so hilarious. If you haven't checked out the first video that I did, it will be linked down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.